Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Comic Book Thursdays. Today, Zack and I are doing a review together. We are not doing a review of a comic book, but we are going to do a review of a comic book movie
That just
tomorrow.
came out.
Yeah, tomorrow it will be coming out, but we got to see it a little bit early. Guardians of the Galaxy, and I gotta say it was pretty funny. What did you think?
No, actually, in my opinion, the movie fucking sucked.
Whatever.
It was good. It was good.
It
was really good.
yeah. It was really funny. Like the whole vibe of the trailers that have came out for it, it does it justice. You know what you're going into if you see the trailer for the movie. Not to say that the whole movie is a constant laugh fest. It has some serious moments to it, which I appreciated.
Yeah. Um, it was a different vibe from all the other Marvel, from all the other films that Marvel Studios have made in the past. Because this one is more centered on humor than it is in any other Marvel Universe movie. And which is, I'm not saying that there wasn't any humor in the other past films, but this one had a greater emphasis on it.
Right.
And
So
it strived more for comedy than action, but there's plenty of action, let me tell you that.
Right, yeah. So, a lot of people, they have not read the Guardians of the Galaxy comic books, and, which, going into it, I think more of you, I didn't realize, hi, cat. Anyways, more of you guys who have not read the comic books won't have as many gripes about it as I do. It was a good movie, don't get me wrong. I'm going to get Guardians of the Galaxy on Blu-ray when it comes out. It's that good.
Yeah.
But me personally, I've been reading the Marvel Now, the new stuff that they're doing with Guardians of the Galaxy, and a few of the characters I was a little disappointed with.
Yeah.
But Zack hasn't read the comics.
No, actually, I've never heard of the comics until the movie was announced. Which is funny because I'm all about Marvel. I like the Marvel franchise, all their franchises. Spider-Man, the X-Men, Captain America. But this is the very first time I've ever actually heard of Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was very, very obscure to a lot of people actually. And only like the hardcore comic book people.
Well, I'm not one of those hardcore comic book people. I mean,
But
I
you
get,
knew.
I get No, I didn't. I had no idea when
Really?
they first announced it. I had no idea. I did not know what the Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Really?
It wasn't until when they launched the Marvel Now and they launched Guardians of the Galaxy, I picked up like the issue 0 where it first introduced Peter Quill, Star-Lord,
Yeah.
and it gave his backstory. And then I picked it up because Iron Man was in it.
Mm.
Iron Man was in the first few issues of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, I want something with Iron Man in it, but Iron Man wasn't the selling point of Guardians of the Galaxy for me. Like when I started reading it, it was the other characters. Iron Man was kind of boring.
Yeah.
In comic books in general, me personally, I find Iron Man boring. I've tried reading some of his other comics, like his standalones, where it's just him, and it's boring. I like seeing him in the Avengers and like the Marvel events that they do. Like right now, I'm reading Original Sin, which is really good, and I like seeing him in that and interacting with other people. But
Right.
when it's just Iron Man, I don't like seeing it. So when the comics came out, I thought that was going to be the selling point for me, but it wasn't. So let's do a rundown because we're getting way off topic here talking about Iron Man.
Actually.
So there's Peter Quill, who is Star-Lord. We've got Gamora. We got Drax the Destroyer, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 5 characters in the movie and also in this rebooted comic book series. And let's talk about Star-Lord first. In the movie, he was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was really funny.
He was pretty funny guy, and he's sort of like that in the comic books. But right now, the sort of storyline that they're going through in Guardians, it's more of a serious storyline. So he's not as funny as in the comics. He has more of a serious tone to him, but he has some humor to him.
Yeah.
He's not all he's more of a lady killer in the comics.
I think they kind of referenced that in the beginning of the movie too, when he had like the pink skinned chick on board with him,
and then he was trying to hook up with Gamora.
Yeah,
and so he's more of this pretty boy. Trying to hook up with women.
Really a pretty boy, but more.
No, not in the movie. In the comics,
yeah.
he's a pretty boy.
Is he? Yeah.
He's blonde haired and he's pretty good looking.
He's an Aryan.
But so let's move on to Drax the Destroyer. I don't know a whole lot about Drax. He in the movie the movie gave me more backstory than I guess the comic did for me.
He had a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
I mean, not really charisma, but he had like a lot of life in the role too. Even though he's like a character that's driven by brutality, revenge, and
he had some funny lines.
Yeah, but the thing is that he was more human than that.
Right.
Quote unquote human. He was he had a sense of humor. He had respect for his friends in the movie.
Right.
And
so So Drax, he was an alright character. He was pretty cool. I can't really reference he's a badass, really. There's one scene in particular that I'm not gonna get really into, but he fights this bad guy that is in the movie, and the fight didn't really seem like he was Drax.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil the fight, but he didn't really seem like he was Drax in the fight from what I read in the comic books.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could just say his name. It was Ronan he was fighting.
Right. Well, I'm not going to get into the fight, though.
Right.
What happened in the fight. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But yeah, he was fighting Ronan, the main bad guy of the movie, and it wasn't really Drax who I felt from the comics. So, with that, we're going to move on because we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon, hilarious in the movie and in the comics. He was spot on. Loved Rocket. Another one that was spot on was Groot. Groot. You can't screw up Groot.
Oh, my God. Groot was like the highlight of the fucking movie.
He was so funny. He had so many funny parts.
Oh, my God, dude.
He was funny.
It was like the single greatest character in the film. And he doesn't even say any lines other than "I am Groot."
It his vocal.
Yeah.
It changes.
It's Vin Diesel.
It's Vin Diesel saying
It's Vin Diesel just saying "I am Groot."
Right.
And I can see it's funny because I can see other people getting pissed off at that. It's like Vin Diesel doesn't say shit.
That's what his character in the comics is.
Yeah.
That's all he says in the comics. There's
and
nothing
I found
more.
that hilarious that Vin Diesel's like, yeah, I want to fucking be Groot. Sign me up.
There's a part where Drax asks Groot a question and Star-Lord's like, I guarantee it's going to be I am Groot. It was so funny.
That was great.
It was so funny. And now we're moving on to the last Guardian, who was, to me, disappointing. And also, Zack said he was kind of disappointed with this character, and that was Gamora.
Yeah, she, by the way.
Did I say he?
Yeah.
I apologize. Gamora, she was very disappointing. She is nothing like herself in the comics.
She had a very two-dimensional personality.
Right.
She wasn't interesting.
No.
She just seemed like kind of a bitch. She was just bitching all the time.
No, not even that. She didn't seem like a bitch. She just seemed very droll and
lifeless.
And I mean, the main story plot of her and she's Thanos' daughter. She's an adopted daughter of Thanos. And she was raised by Thanos, and Thanos has made her into this war machine.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And
but
that's the same
like
through the
that in the film.
No, she's not badass at all. She didn't have her sword like she has in the comic books.
She kind of did. It only showed it in one scene.
She
just kind of put it in her sheaths. Yeah, but she
didn't
never
really
used them.
She used it in one fight, and it was only one. She has two.
Yeah.
She has two swords, and she only has one.
You wouldn't even notice unless we said something about it. It's like, oh, look, she just used her sword. And then you'd be like, what the fuck,
She was the most disappointing, because Gamora is my favorite character of the Guardians.
Really?
She is my favorite character. and she was very disappointing.
Yeah, in the film, she was so uninteresting. Just, I wouldn't say she was lifeless. It's just that they didn't put enough character into her, except for like, oh, I'm supposed to be a badass, but she doesn't really do anything badass. It's kind of like
she's like nothing like herself.
Yeah.
So, and then the bad guy, Ronan, he's your kind of a generic bad guy. He's out for
revenge.
No, not revenge. He was out for like
he was going to like
he was going to destroy a race of people
because they signed a peace treaty or something. Yeah.
But he was overshadowed a lot by Thanos, who does make an appearance in the movie.
But his presence went on screen when Thanos is on screen. That one scene when he's in the movie, it just blows my fucking mind.
Right, he looked awesome.
Intimidating.
He sounded awesome.
Yeah, his voice. Oh my god. Greatest villain voice alongside Orson Welles or not Orson Welles. The guy who voiced Unicron from
Orson Welles.
Was it Orson Welles?
It was Orson Welles.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, that he really shined, and we kind of felt cheated that he wasn't the actual villain, and I'm feeling even more cheated knowing that Ultron is going to be the main villain of Avengers 2.
Yeah.
When it should have been Thanos all along, but goddamn Robert Downey Jr. wanted more money. Not saying. I'm glad he's coming back.
I don't think it's because he wanted more money.
No, it's exactly why.
Really?
Exactly why.
Is it really? Because I kind of figured he just wanted to play
he
Iron
wanted
Man another time.
He wanted more money, and he wanted to be in the spotlight again. It's from what I've heard from a lot of things about Avengers 2, it's going to be Iron Man 4. It's gonna.
Damn it.
It's gonna be central.
I'm sorry, but Iron Man 3 was a piece of shit.
Hopefully they redeem themselves. If you watch the Marvel one shot, Long Live the King, I think it is. It was with Thor: The Dark World. When you bought it, it's a Marvel one shot in Thor: The Dark World.
That's the one Marvel movie I haven't seen yet.
Oh man, I'll show you the one shot. I have it.
Okay.
It shows something for people who are fans of the Mandarin. It's like you gotta watch it. If you haven't watched it, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay. All right.
But check if you haven't picked up Thor: The Dark World yet. Go out and buy it or rent it from a movie store, and have the actual disc, and then play the Marvel one shot, and then you'll see if you're a Mandarin fan, you're very disappointed by the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, then go out and buy Thor: The Dark World or rent it from a video store. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So we got completely off topic again, talking about Iron Man. Because that's all he does. He outshines the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Iron Man is like your bread and butter for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It feels like everything's been central around him, which makes sense because Robert Downey Jr., he's a really good actor.
He's really good in the role of Iron Man.
Yeah. So, anyways, Guardians of the Galaxy was a great movie.
It was a very, very great
You should
movie.
go spend money in the movie theater and go check it out.
I'm sorry. I gotta talk about the ending.
No, don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
You gotta stick around for the end credits, though.
Yeah, at the end, after the end credits, you're gonna be in for one hell of a surprise. It's not anything like, it's not gonna be like a preview to like Avengers 2 or anything like that, or it's not gonna be anything like that. But there's a character. There's a character that shows up at the end of the movie. We haven't seen this character in a Marvel movie in 20 years.
So yeah,
and
stick
no,
around.
No. Hold on.
All right.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm just gonna.
You got 30 seconds.
We haven't seen this character in a movie in 20 years, and in the movie he starred in was one of the worst films ever made. And this might be a little bit of a spoiler for those of you who do know. Here's a little hint. George Lucas and Duck Tits.
I don't even get that one.
For all you nostalgic fans.
All right. So we're
Lucas.
going over the limit now. We're over 15 minutes now because you keep going on.
I'm sorry.
You dragged that out longer than it needed to be dragged out.
Whatever.
So go ahead. Go out and see Guardians of the Galaxy. We highly recommend it. It was really good. If you haven't read the comic books yet, read the comic books. I know for some people it's really not their cup of tea, the comic books, for some reason. But me personally, I thought the comic books were better than Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But either way, check out some Guardians of the Galaxy. It's really good.
Yeah. 10 out of
10. 10 out of 11. 11 out of 20. 20 out of 30. Okay.
So is it fucking average then?
50 out of 40.
Fuck you.
50 out of 40.
Fuck you.
Okay. Yeah, 10 out of 10 for that movie. Really good. And we'll see you guys next week on, or you'll see me next week on Comic Book Thursdays. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all.
No, he doesn't.